Hello students, today I will take the chapter of history class 8 from traders to rulers in my SST online class. So whatever the points today I will explain to you, you have to read and you have to listen to me very carefully and note down in your means in any rough copy in any paper, right? So first of all you have to hold your pen and pencil and keep your any rough copy, any paper pad on your table, and whatever the points I will explain to you, these are very important points which will work for you to know about the history chapter from traders to rulers. This is very important chapter in class 8, and that chapter will also work in the class 7 because this is the chapter which is completely correlated with the chapter of the 7th class 8 to 13th century period, that is the period of medieval period. So 8 to 13th century period, that chapter and the from traders to rulers, these two chapters of 7th and 8th class are very close chapters here. So first of all students, before taking the explanation of the chapter from traders to rulers, I would like to tell you about the meaning of the history. Generally the students, whenever I ask to the students in my class, in my school class, so generally they said that ma'am, history is nothing, purani kahaniyan padhna hi history hai. No. I always explain to my students in my online classes also, in my school classes also, कि history is more than, history बहुत कुछ है. History is not only the study only the past events and study about the Akbar ki story or Birbal ki story. History is more than. History is a subject. History is the subject which tells us about more and more and providing very valuable information to us. It is a subject which is not only the study of the past. It is a subject which tells us about the study of the past in a chronological order, which tell us about the kingdoms and the dynasties, which tell us about the political system, economic system, social system, religious system, the whole perspectives of life during that time period of a particular dynasty and rulers. And then we are able to connect that time period which means to our present period and present to our future. So means to say that history is a subject which is completely describing and explaining about our past events to our present and present events to our future. History is also mentioning about our geography. Suppose we are taking the chapter the geography. Before taking the chapter explanation of geography, suppose we are taking the chapter natural vegetation and wildlife, land and water resource. So we have to go through the background. We have to go through the background to what is resource, from where we are getting and availing these all type of resources. This is what? This is firstly we are going to the back. We are going to the past, the history of the geography. Same it happens with your civics, the political science. Suppose we are taking the chapter in our 9th class, in our 10th class, 11th year, 12th, democracy, constitution, features of democracy, features of constitution. So we have to know about the basic root of our democracy, from where that word is originated. So we have to read the French Revolution. We have to read about the French Revolution. We have to read about the causes. We have to read about all the events. We have to read about the impacts of the French Revolution. Because French Revolution was a revolution where the three words and the slogan which was raised by the peoples, liberty, equality and fraternity. Because of three words, there is an emergence of the new word that was the democracy. Democracy means people's power, where the peoples are having the right to elect and select their representatives to run the government. Clear my point? So means to say that if suppose we are reading the chapter, the democracy, we are taking the chapter, the constitution, so we have to go through the completely the background picture of the chapter. Suppose we are taking the chapter of economics. Suppose we are talking about the economics, the sectors, the three economic activities, the three sectors, primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector means the service sector. So we also are about to have to go through the economic aspects in our ancient time period, the economic aspect, the economic activities in our medieval period. And then we have to correlate our ancient period and medieval period to our present period. So means to say that history is not only the study of the past, history is not only the study or reading the kahani of the Birbal and Akbar, it is more than. It is mentioning about the completely the world scenario, our global period, our globalization, how we are co-related and interdependent to each other, how we were in our past, how we are today, and how we will be tomorrow. So now students, I am now going to my topic and now explaining my topic about the classification of history. So this was only the explanation of my subject, history is what, history kya hai, which I explained to you. History is more than, history is not only the study of the past, history is a subject which correlating to our present, to our past, to our present, and present to our future. Past events to present events, and present events to our future. This is what which I want to say to you. History is more than a very, very important subject. One example I would like to give you. Suppose if you are appearing in any competitive exam, in any government exam, any NEET exam, any type of other higher level courses or higher level exams, or especially in the government exam, there is a one subject, all we know that, the GK paper. That is always consisting of 50 marks paper, 100 marks paper. If you are facing your paper, appearing in the exam, the IAS, there is a 200 marks. In prelims, the GK paper will be there. So you have to firstly have to prepare the GK. You have to firstly have to prepare the social science. You have to prepare all the branches of social science, history, civics, geography, and economics. So this is a very, very important subject which plays a very important role in a student life to fulfill our motives, to fulfill our dreams. Suppose you want to crack the government exam, suppose you want to appear in any competitive exams, you want to take the admission in a higher level courses, so you have to firstly have to face your GK paper. GK means, GK is not only the general awareness or current affairs. GK is more than, GK will cover your history, GK will cover your civics, means political science, GK will cover your economics, GK will cover your geography. GK will means complete the all branches, the all perspectives of our life, our world, our scenarios. Clear my point? So now students, so firstly, I would like to explain to you about the classification of history before taking the chapter of the from traders to rulers, which is very, very important chapter of the 8th class, and this also will work in the 9th and 10th, the other classes. And this chapter is also related 8th to 13th century chapter, which will come in the same class. These two chapters are correlated. The 7th class chapter, 8th to 13th century medieval period, and the 8th class chapter, the traders to rulers. The next is that classification of history. So I would like to explain to you about the classification of history. When we talk about the classification of history, we classify it in 3 categories: ancient period, medieval period, and the modern period. According to the James Mill, a Scotland writer, a very famous writer and philosopher, a political thinker, who mentioned in the book The British History of India. In that book, he mentioned about he told about the classification of history, of Indian history, in 3 categories: in 1817, ancient period, medieval period, and modern period. According to him, in his book, the ancient period was known as the Hindu period, medieval period was known as the Muslim period, and modern period was known as the British period. Means to say that the ancient period, when it was started from the origin of human beings to up to the 8th century. 8th to 18th century, the period was known as the medieval period, and modern period 18th century to till now. So according to the James Mill, a very famous political thinker and writer, in his book he mentioned in 1817, now when we classify the Indian history, we classify in the 3 categories, and the ancient period, according to him, it was known as the Hindu period. I will tell you later on in my next online class why he said that the ancient period was known as the Hindu period. Why he said that the medieval period was known as the Muslim period. Why he said that the modern period was known as the British period. So students, in my next online class, SST online class, I will give you the whole details and explanation related to the chapters and related to why the James Mill said, why he classified Indian history in these 3 categories. What were the reasons behind it? So now students, now these details, if you want to know, I have given my phone number, all the details in my description box. You can call to me, you can contact to me. I will tell you about all the details in my next online class. Thank you for attending my SST online class. Thank you students. Thank you.